lads, Robin here, and I'm back again with another deck review for you. This week, Pete is letting me, at the kindness of his heart, play the Nighthaunts. But the only reason he's let me do that is because he's going to be playing the Sepulchral Guard. So I've put this deck together for this Clash of the Undead, the game where all 14 starting the hexes will be used. I can't wait to play it. It's going to be really exciting. I have kind of tailored this a little bit to the fact that I'm playing the Sepulchral Guard. Not massively, but there are a few things I might not have taken were I not going to play the Guard. But let's have a look what I have put in here. So I have Advancing Strike. I think this is a pretty likely card for most Nighthaunt decks. Get across the table and attack. And, it takes somebody out as fast as possible, particularly good against the Sepulchral Guard because they're as puny as I am. Change of Tactics. This is in here because the Nighthaunts, the Thorns, have a card which enables you to put somebody on guard, a ploy that enables you to put somebody on guard, and Change of Tactics is an immediate kind of glory there if you can do that with a charge, of course. Escalation, I can't imagine ever create a deck that doesn't have escalation in it. Maybe that's because I'm boring, but escalation's in there. And then, I'm going to skip over the next card and talk about that at the end. Then I have Master of War. Master of War is a card I like. It's a little bit harder with the magic spells coming out because you have to play a ploy. I haven't actually played any spells in this deck because I don't think the Thorns ones are particularly good. So Master of War is in there. Precise use of force. I've got lots of fighters that might be able to do the right damage, particularly against Guard. This is one of those cards I might not have taken in a general deck, but because I'm playing Guard, I think it's worth having in here. Superior Tactician is in there. I've got a few score immediately. I've got a few cards I can score. I've put Superior Tactician in there ahead of Denial or Contained or Conquest or anything like that because I think Superior Tactician will be easier to score than those when playing 7 Sepulchral Guard. Swarming Spirits. This is a new card for the Nighthaunts. It's the one where if you move through a hex occupied by an enemy fighter, then, or if two of you do, then you gain a glory, which is quite easy to score for these guys. There is still some question about whether pushing is a move. I know it's not a move action, but whether pushing counts as they can push through people. I'm in the camp that I feel like it should be able to. Thematically, I think that's more interesting, and it obviously makes this card a little bit better. I feel like they should. A lot of people I know don't feel like that, but we haven't had an official ruling. We've had an unofficial kind of maybe this is how it is, but we haven't had an official ruling. So at the moment, I'm not sure how Pete and I play it. We'll discuss it on the day. But anyway, it's worth having in there either way the rule is played, I think. Then I have Treacherous Foe. Treacherous Foe, score this immediately if your warband makes a reaction. Now this is a great card to have and easy to score. It might be the easiest card to score in the game. So there we are, that's in there. Now I've got 4 objectives left. What are they? Well, I have taken Supremacy, Our Only Way Out, and Take the City, which are all very similar. Supremacy is obviously get 3 people on objectives. Our Only Way Out is like a poor man's version of it, which is the same, but only for 2 glory. And then Take the City, score this in an end phase if you hold all objectives on 1 or more game boards. Worth 1. So it's only worth 1, but Pete might try kind of only put a few in his end, or he might try and keep them all up his end. I don't know what he'll try and do, but I reckon there's a chance of pinching Take the City while trying to go for Supremacy and Our Only Way Out. And in that vein, I might not have taken this, but I think it'd be really fun to try and score it. I've taken Making a Statement, which is scoring all the objectives in Pete's half. And again, I'm sort of hoping that he might think, they've got that card, which means they can score a glory if they take all of the objectives in their half. I'm going to load Robin's half with objectives. And then leave his own a little bit light, and then where will he be? Because I'll score Making a Statement. So that's the intention with that card. Lots and lots of objective grabbing cards, but no specific ones, because I think they're much harder to score, the specific ones. So just general objective grabbing cards in there for me. So what are my gambits? Well, I've gone for Death Throes. I quite like the look of Death Throes. I think one of my Patreon supporters suggested it. Play this card during an attack, action, or ploy. Well, it's basically one of those ones that if you kill somebody, they suffer 1 damage. So I think that's worth having for these guys. Fueled by Fury, this enables me to reroll any attack dice if I make a charge. I think that's quite nifty. So that's going in there. And then there's the standard ones, Trap and Twist the Knife. But then there's so many good Nighthaunt cards. I've only gone for Nighthaunt cards. There's no room in my deck for Great Concussion. There's no room in my deck for Ready for Action. Pete's going to think I'm being replaced. But no, I've gone for a total of 7 gambits of the Nighthaunt Persuasion. Now, I haven't even gone for the one which is like Great Concussion, which is a spell, because I'm not sure I'm going to need it. I might need it. I might regret that, but I haven't put it in there. I've gone for Drifting Advance, which is the one where you can push basically push everybody up 2. That can be really useful for inspiring your guys if you play it at the right time. Then I've gone for Endless Malice, which is the one with friendly fighter attack action foes. You can remake it. That could be vital. I think that's a really good card for the Thorns because they're attacked a little bit weak, so you've got a chance of doing it, hitting again if you miss. Madeline Cackle. I love Madeline Cackle, and it's particularly going to be important against the Guard, I think. If they get an Inspired Harvester or an Inspired Champion, I can uninspire him if he misses. So I think that's well worth having in my deck. Spectral Parry, that's the one that puts somebody on guard. Vital for scoring change of tactics. I'm not sure I'm going to have any spare goes to put people on guard, so I'll be looking for that card. Sudden Appearance, love this card. Choose a friendly fighter and place them on any starting hex. That can be really useful. Again, good for inspiration, good for just popping up and helping out in the fight. Vengeful Curse. Play this after an enemy's fighter attack action that's taken adjacent friendly out of action. Their attacker suffers 1 damage. So it's death throws. I've got 2 death throws in there, so that can be really vital. I can only play 1 at a time because they're both reactions, but you know it could be really good. So that's in there. Vengeful Curse, and then finally Determined Effort. Determined Effort is +1 dice for the first attack action of the next activation. Again, I think these kind of dark cards, well, they're good for any warband, but they're particularly good for the Nighthaunt because there's lots of sword rolls, and I'm going to be looking for sort of maximising my hittingness, like everybody is really, but try and knock out those guard before they can get to me. So, what are my upgrades? There were 11 gambits, there were 11 upgrades. I have gone for a Destiny to Meet. I reckon my plan of keeping the Briar Queen out of the way will mean a Destiny to Meet is scoreable. Awakened Weapon, again, trying to maximise that hitting. Concealed Weapon, if I do finally hit with all my extra little bonuses for hitting, I want to be able to do some serious damage, so that's why Concealed Weapon's in there. Great Fortitude, great Strength, try and buff up and strengthen my team. Incredible Strength in the same way. Shade Glass Sword, I wasn't sure about this one. I know Dagger is often preferred. Quite like the look of Shade Glass Sword, so I stuck that in there for a bit of a laugh. I've never played it before, so why not? Then the Nighthaunt specific ones. Chill Touch is lethal in certain circumstances. It's chain last only, but it means that dodges are not successful. I think that card is great to have in a deck. It's particularly good against the Sepulchral Guard. Never mind. I'll have that in there. Driven by Hatred, +1 dice to the attack action where they make a charge action. Again, all about trying to increase those dice rolls. Inescapable Vengeance, when they make a move or charge, you can instead place them on any starting hex. Another great card. It's an upgrade, so it's an interesting one, that one, but it's for the Briar Queen only, but it's a great card for getting in there and doing some damage. And then finally, Statistic Strike for Varklav. If the target has any wound takers, it does +2 damage. That's a 3 damage, 3 attack if they've taken some damage, which they might have done with one of my smaller Nighthaunts, and then he can finish the Warden off or something. That's why that's in there. So that is my deck. I hope you found it useful. Do let me know what you think. It's the first time I've played the Nighthaunt. I'm not quite sure I'm going to do it right. There seems to be a particular playstyle for them. Hopefully I won't screw up too badly. Hopefully I can give Pete a good run for his money when he plays the Guard. Let's wait and see. So thank you very much for listening. Until we play the battle, I shall see you then. Bye!